Good morning. I wanted to show you how I painted Hudson at the Miami sunrise. And this is for you, James and Carla, and all the fans of James and Carla. As you can see, I'm a New Yorker, but I live in Florida now. I love watching you guys, by the way. I'm going to show you a time lapse of how I painted Hudson. It's a digital painting. I use a digital pencil to do it, and I'm going to show you how. I thought it might be interesting. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is my iPad here, and there's my pencil. So I start out with a blank screen. There's the screen, the canvas for the screen. You see, I can move it around. And what I do is I bring in a reference photo. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Let's see, I'm not as good at this as you guys. All right, here's what I do. I push this, and then reference photo right there. I already have it set up to have a picture, a screenshot I got of Carla and Hudson. So I can make it a little bit bigger. And so there's my screenshot, okay, of Carla and Hudson. And I used this, obviously, this shot of Hudson for the picture that I did of Hudson sitting by the sunrise, by the ocean. So what I would do, and I'm going to do part of it here. So I go up here. Now this is where I choose my brushes, etc. I don't know if you've ever used Procreate. Well, yeah, that's the program. The hardware, whatever, is an iPad, but the software is called Procreate. Let me show you that. Let me show you what it looks like, what Procreate looks like. So I can go, yeah, there, that's it, Procreate. Okay, that's the software. All right, let me go back to the picture. Okay, so let me make Hudson bigger so I can see him better. And then this is what I would do. I would take this pencil, and see, I have a choice of different things. Now, for most of Hudson, I used this. It's called turpentine, and it's a brush. It looks like a brush when it's well, I gotta put some color on it. Okay, so it kind of has this look, like if you're dragging a brush on a piece of paper or on a canvas. All right, but I'm gonna get rid of all that stuff. How cool is that? I can delete stuff. All right, so what I want to do is instead of getting a brush, because I want to first sketch them, so I'm going to use a pencil. I'm going to use the Procreate pencil. And you can see there's a lot of choices of pencils and brushes, etc. But for this, I'm going to use a pencil. And now I'm going to change the color to something dark so that we can see it, okay? And also, if you notice, I have the paper is not white. The canvas. Let me show you something. All right, so here's a piece of white paper. Oh no, the paper actually looks darker. Well, that's because of the lighting in here. It's because the paper's not lit. Anyway, trust me, this is not white. This is dark, like off-white. Okay, gray. Okay, so what I would do, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm holding the camera with one hand. So I would just take Hudson and start to sketch him. So there's the top of his head, and there's his ear. You see? Pretty simple like that. There's the side of his head right there. He's got the markings that make him Hudson, and his eyes are here. So you see how I do that, and his markings go over here. So it goes like this, it goes around. So I'm gonna switch now. Oops, I'm not keeping the camera where it should be. So then you just keep sketching until you have what you want for Hudson. I love Hudson, by the way. Oh gosh. So I should introduce you to Robin. She's sleeping right now. But Robin and I do children's books. And I don't do a whole lot of painting. So anyway, so that's how I do that. Now I'm gonna switch to a time lapse thing. I'm gonna narrate it. Oh, by the way, I'm the guy who did the the picture of you guys, like a crosswalk sign. James, Carla, and Hudson walking, like a traffic sign. I'm the guy who did that, just so you know. Oh, also, you know what I want to tell you? I wanted to, last time when I tried to send you that crosswalk sign, I don't know, it was difficult. I didn't know, I didn't want to be, interfering with you guys, and I didn't want to be presumptuous and ask for an email address or anything. And I was just so confused that I did it right, or if you even got it. So what I'm going to do with this, and I'll do it with that too. I'll put it on my own, I have a website. I'm not really that good at the website stuff, but I have one. And all I got to do is put pictures on there, and then you can download them from there. So I'm going to put this one on there, and it will be the full, what do you call it? The full dimensions. It'll be 300 DPI. Pretty sure, I hope. You can print it any way you want, or just use it as a digital picture. You don't got to pay me for anything. All right, let me go to the time lapse. All right, this is the beginning of the sketch. Not so sure why it's off the screen, but it is anyway. So this is the beginning of the sketch, and that way you can see right there what I was talking about earlier, how I made the paper not white, or the background not white. I made it, I don't know what you call that, like a brown, light brown. So I started using, well, for the sketch I used a pencil. For the beginning painting part of it, I used a dry brush. It's digital, but it's still called a dry brush. It's the same effect as if you used a dry brush in traditional paint. And I did that to give it, that dry brush look, and then at this point, I was happy with the way Hudson's face looked. And to me, the face had to have that dog hair look. And that's why I was using the dry brush, just so you know. And then I went to the turpentine brush, which was a little bit smoother, a little bit more painterly, and basically just started coloring in, like you would do if you're a child doing a coloring book, except, with a little bit more skill or finesse or something. But anyway, so, oh, and I did keep the bandana. That's cool that was a gift from somebody in Scotland. You guys are amazing. I like watching you guys, and you know what I do? I don't know if anybody else does this, but I work on art a lot, and so I listen to what you do. So I appreciate when you talk, because a lot of times I'm looking at the art and not at the screen where your video is. And then when you say something that's interesting, I look up, and I just love when you guys are, I know this is probably a common comment you get, but I love when you're feeding Hudson, when he's looking for a piece of pizza. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you guys did a beautiful thing by adopting him, by the way. So there he is. I mean, he's the star of this show, and I don't mean your show, although it kind of is. Well, you all are, but I mean, he's the star of this painting. And so once I have him done, I have to put the background in. Now, there's something I want to tell you about the background. Oh, well, you know what this is? This is me making sure that there's a mat behind him. Otherwise, the background is going to show through him, just so you know. That's what I did there. All right, so here I am, rough painting in the background, and he's continuing to use that turpentine brush to do that. Just making it look like a seascape with the sun rising. I wanted the sun rising behind him. I don't know why you can't see the top of his head, though, in this painting. But anyway, so, I mean, this is something I do all the time. I do backgrounds and landscapes. I do a traditional paint, or I use pastels, or I use digital, which is what I'm doing here. And now, okay, so you see what I did there? This is kind of a trick. And if you're doing traditional art, you have to do it from the beginning. But with digital, you can do it at the end. So I darkened Hudson for the most part, put him in a big old shadow. And then I lightened the areas where I thought the sun would be hitting him if he were really in that place at that time. And then also, because he has a sun behind him, you see I'm starting to add like a little bit of an orange glow to his edges and to his cheeks, to the top of his head, etc. And then I'm darkening some of the areas that I think was probably going to be in shadow to make it look more like he's really sitting there on the beach. All right, well, there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for the work you do. Give Hudson an extra pat. And as I said in the beginning, I'll put the file for the print onto my website, which is my name, larrywhitler.com. I'll put it right there or somewhere. And then you can download it for free. Anybody can, okay? Deal? All right. If I've done anything at all that interferes or somehow infringes on your copyrights or anything, please let me know and I'll undo anything I did. But just kind of, it's, you know, they do in the art world, they do things called fan art. I don't do any fan art, but this is an exception. Piece of fan art. All right, guys, thank you for what you do. Stay warm. I know you're in Miami. Well, I'm in Ocala, by the way. It's cold today, but not snowing like it is in New York. Kind of miss it, though. All right.